Welcome, everybody, to Stay Curious. I'm your host, Mark Marquette. So glad that you join us. Many of you every weekday afternoon, Monday through Friday, where for more than 5.5 years, my partner, Marty Winkle, and I have been presenting space news, space views, lots of wonderful interviews with space workers and astronauts, and more importantly, your fellowship here as we've all gotten to know each other, many of us, the last 3 or 4 years, and have seen each other at some events, including our very successful Shuttle Fest that will be this year in June 19th, 20th, and 21st at the Cocoa Beach Hilton Hotel. So today we've got a busy day here at the museum. If I'm late, like sometimes I am, a little after 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, soon to be Standard Time, it's only because I am helping run this museum. So we've always got a lot going on, and we appreciate everybody out there that supports us in your way that you see fit. One of them, none more so than Steve Jokums, who sponsored our show yesterday. I didn't throw a sponsor up there, except, yes, I did. What did I do with a special pin that I've got over there, Marty? What did I do with that? Mitch Rothman's Man Space, NASA Man Space Facebook. I had a pin laid out to show you of his Man Space, but go to Facebook Man Space, and it must be laying over there on my desk, just waiting for me to pick it up. But thank you, Mitch. He sent a little donation, he and his wife Paula, in the mail today, and also got another special thing from Steve Jokums in the mail. Yeah, I was going to put the button on here, is why I had it on here on my vest, and I got a new button here that's hard to see. That's Yerkes Observatory there that Jokum sent me. Anyway, don't worry about that, Marty. We're thank you very much, everybody, for supporting us, and our green screen behind here tells a tale of the start of it all in movies, space travel. Yes, a very famous movie was premiered this date in history in 1929. And some of you may know what that movie is, so stay tuned. We'll say we're sponsored by our charity auction, number 40, which is going to be Saturday, October 25th, noon to 5 p.m. You can bid now on over 350 lots, and we will go over them the next 2 weeks, of course. Boy, those models over here, we're going to look at those again, because those are some beautiful contractor models that were built for contractors of those vehicles and rockets to hand out to workers and as awards and so forth. So, Chuck Jeffrey, thank you a lot for your Bid Again auctions, doing this for us for the 40th time. And you all know the drill. So, help support us. Look at some things that you can't live without, or maybe start a collection of astronaut autographs, or maybe you want all 135 launch viewing passes from the shuttle missions, or maybe you want some launch badges from the Apollo era. Those are all available on our 40th auction a week from Saturday. Also, our space memorabilia shows November 8th at the Hyatt Place. I need to put the time on there, 9 to 3 o'clock. We've already got our fill of vendors. Now we need customers. And if you're going to want to get out of the early cold weather somewhere and hop on an airplane to Orlando or Sanford Airport, check us out and have some fun. We did have some vendors that came in just for the weekend event and found it very successful. Marty, you're going to have a table there with some of your wares. What you going to have, buddy?
No, I think I might just have the Mylar. I'm not sure if I'll bring anything else. So I'm not even sure if I can make it to the memorabilia show. And if I can make it, then I'll definitely bring a few more things.
Well, I'll start telling you what's going to be there, because there's going to be a lot of Christmas ornaments there. I'll tell you that, and stuff that unique and treasures of the space age. So hope to see you there. We've got Marty's space trivia question of the day. All right, Marty, take it away. Hadn't done this in a pair of blue moons, so glad that you want to do this today.
Okay. What was the first contract awarded in the Apollo program, and who was it awarded to?
Throw in what date it was awarded to there. Now, don't be getting those thumbs going there, Steve Jokums, yet. Google your brain. Okay, see if you can figure it out there. It was, I'll give you a hint. Couldn't have done the couldn't have done the program without it. All right. Yeah, Marty doesn't want me to give it away. You know, we see that beautiful star up in the sky every day, or at least, if you're up in Michigan, I know you're taking your last glimpses of it because it's going to be winter, and I lived up in Northwest Ohio, and traditionally up around Lake Erie, Lake Michigan, you don't see the sun from mid-November to March if you're lucky. If you do see it, it's going to be only 4 or 5 times. But let's I'm trying to get my friends get you all up here, see what's going on. The sun is covered with spots, not numbers. Okay, those numbers are numbers that astronomers give them, solar astronomers, to follow these storms on the sun that are cooler areas where electromagnetic radiation is being spewed out into the cosmos, and hits the earth, comes in at the poles, and then we have aurora borealis a few days later. So this is a really huge two sunspot groups there. Can probably be seen naked eye. All right, in the sunset. So don't look at it when it's high up in the sky. And and the other one up in the upper right's like Hawaiian Islands. These are all. Take one of those little ones in the upper right. Let's see if I could do like one of the small ones right here. That's the size of the Earth, Marty. One of those small ones right there. When I make it big, that's the size of the Earth. All right, there's a little 3 on the sides there. So yes, we are very, very small. Hello there, Mitch Rothman. Great to see you. Gary Gerald, Dean Babcock, Cliff Watson. Good morning to you, mate. Hang in there. Be strong, brother. Dave Stangy is on board. Doug Forrest. Doug, I watched the Michigan USC football game. Many of you all did. He's out there in California. Marty, did you watch the game? The USC Michigan football game? When they did a panorama of the great Los Angeles Coliseum, you could see the conical shaped building for Endeavor in the background.
Oh, you said USC and who?
Huh?
USC and who?
And who?
Yeah,
Michigan.
Michigan. Oh, Michigan.
You know where Michigan is?
Someplace up
It's
north.
above the great state of Ohio that looks like a shield
It's where all the Great Lakes
protecting the
are.
country. Yeah,
Where all the Great Lakes are.
that's right. It looks like a glove.
Yeah.
It's
And,
waving at the rest of the people that bye bye.
yeah, and talking about Doug, I got my 50th astronaut autograph on your Endeavor picture.
Oh, you did? Oh my gosh, Marty. Wow.
Here we got Joan Higginbotham today.
Joan Higginbotham is number 50. We have to bring that in and show that off here soon. All right.
You want to go get it?
Yeah, sure. If you want to go get it, we kind of got a loose show today because we had a long lunch, a business lunch, talking about Shuttle Fest stuff. But yeah, happy Wednesday to you all up there. The sun, very underrated to say the least, of how it affects our weather. There'd be no weather without it, and it's never talked about in global warming or climate change, and I think that's wrong because the sun is a little bit warmer right now for a few years. And then 6 years from now, it'll be a little bit cooler. Now, cooler is not like going from 72 to 68 on the thermostat. This is like going from 6,000 degrees at the surface to maybe 5,999. All right. A little bit more than that, but it's not as hot on the surface as you think. And one of the anomalies of the sun is the atmosphere around it is hotter than the surface, 1,000,000 degrees. Yes, I said 1,000,000 degrees. And it's all because of these objects, sunspots. Do not look at the sun with a telescope or binoculars, please. A disclaimer on that, you will go blind. So I'm wondering what this is over here. And it's not a rocket going to the the sun, but it is a rocket motor. I'll show you here in just a second. So the sunspot cycle is an 11-year between peaks and valleys, and right now we're coming off of the high solar activity at peak. In 5 or 6 years, there won't be any sunspots at all. Period. Zilch for 3 or 4 years sometimes, and then it hits up again in this crazy 11-year cycle. You want to, so this just shows you things that we don't know about the solar system and our own environment there. So, all right, Marty was talking about, I was talking about seeing the Endeavor California Science Center just very close to the USC football field, the famous Los Angeles Coliseum. And so I want to go out there, Marty, and catch a ball game. So this is Doug Forrest's work. Okay, let me get the thruster out of there. And this is Doug's Endeavor. This is a pencil drawing. Okay, do I have it centered good, Marty?
Yeah, you're good.
And when did you start getting this autograph, Marty?
The day after I got it from Doug, which is about 3 years ago.
And you're up to 50. Wow, 50. And what do out of 50 astronauts there, what are some of the reactions to this piece of work by Doug?
Everyone's just, I'll use the word fascinated. Just think it's great. They don't, they think it's a painting or a picture, but
It's pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it does, he's got the patina on here so well. And Julie Payette, Sam Gemar, Nicole Stott, Jack Lausma. That's a good one to have.
Eileen Collins,
You got Bob Cabana. Where'd you get Bobby at?
Shuttlefest.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no.
Yeah, Shuttlefest. He's at Shuttlefest 3. Jerry, STS 116.
I forget. I have Eileen Collins on there.
Yeah.
Mike McCulley, Don Thomas,
Barbara Morgan, Charlie Walker, Mark Lee.
Tom Jones.
Yep. Sam Gemar, Joe Tanner, Kay Heyer.
Yep.
Kay's not an easy one to get because she's not out in the public a lot.
Joan Hickenbottom.
Where'd you see Kay?
At the Rocker Ranch reunion.
Oh yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, that'd be a place to catch her.
Yeah.
There. You went out to the car to go get it there. Jan Davis, you got her already. John Harrington, one of my favorite people.
Jose
Terry
Hernandez.
Wilcutt. We'll be talking. I'm going to send Terry Wilcutt an email today. All right, Marty, thank you for sharing. Isn't that gorgeous, folks? And if you go to apolloarts.com or just Doug Forrest with 2 R's, you may purchase that. And hope you do to help our buddy out there. So good stuff there, Marty. Well worth it. This is what, an hour ago I said I have no idea what we're going to talk about. I had a vague idea what I was going to talk about. And that's what, one day I'm just going to come on and say I got nothing prepared. Hi, goodbye, unless you got any questions. So we'll do that one day. Very influential movie released today in 1929. Frau und Mond, The Girl in the Moon. This is a slide that Steve Agate put together of his wonderful talk. Look up Steve Agate, AGAD, on our over 1,000 episodes of Stay Curious on YouTube. And he talks about this movie premiere October 15th, 1929. Director Fritz Lang and his science advisor was Herman Obruth. Fritz Lang became a very famous director. I think he was Felix the Cat, too. Werner von Braun was influenced by this, okay. His V2 base was painted with Woman in the Moon artwork. This film provided a realistic portrayal of the rollout and launch of a liquid propellant booster sending a manned expedition to the moon. Actually, it was a woman expedition to the moon. Lang provided Obruth with funds to build and launch a liquid-propelled rocket to publicize the film. And so anyway, this was the first time in this movie that the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 to 0 countdown was ever used. And this was the first time it was ever suggested as a dramatic effect for Frau und Mond by Fritz Lang. And here is the backdrop here we use today. Is this rocket? Looks kind of like something that may have been launched this week. All right, the rails, the work building around it, so many things there. What was not realistic in 1929, when people did not understand that the moon didn't have an atmosphere, was nobody had space suits, Marty. Okay, and I have watched this movie a couple times years ago. I guess you could probably get it on your favorite streaming channel. There's the woman on the moon taking some movies on the moon. And we certainly wouldn't let that happen. And I can't get by talking about a woman on the moon without showing you what I consider to be a woman on the moon. Is when you look up at the moon, Native American cultures and all those all over the world saw rabbits, a man in the moon. Okay, where do they get these figures? It's out of the dark areas, the lunar seas that were once bubbling lava that froze up several 3, 4 billion years ago. And these lava seas form patterns, okay? And this one is sort of a rabbit pattern wrapping around, all right, with the mercurium in the oval in the upper right being the rabbit's ears. But I have always seen, since my little eyes started looking at the moon, a woman in the moon. And that is characterized by this outline, a profile of a woman with her hair in a bun. She's wearing the crater Tycho as a pendant, and her nose and below her nose is a meridium. And yeah, I've always seen a woman in the moon, Marty. And again, at full moon, it even looks more prominent to me. So that's my Frau und Mond, okay? Next up is just a little space history today. In 2003, on this date, 22 years ago, this gentleman, doing it old school here, Marty. Oh, thank you. The first Chinese to go to space, Yang Louis, okay, there he is in late, like about 5 years ago also. On this date, 22 years ago. And right now they have their fourth crew on their Heavenly Palace space station ready to come back to Earth probably at the end of the month. I think they're going to launch their replacement crew next week. We'll get on top of that tomorrow for you. And but they retired him out, gave him a big job, and as the first Chinese citizen to go to space. Tachyonauts, what they call them. Yang Louis, there on this date 22 years ago. And I'll bet the Tachyonauts on their space station talked to him today. Why in the world wouldn't they not? All right. All right. Let's move on from that to, oh, yeah, SpaceX Starship seen in Florida skies. Oh, my gosh. Many of you have seen in the Facebook. This is a shot off of a video I'm going to show you. Let me make that bigger, Marty. Let's go here. That's a shot of it from Fort Scottmore, Scottmore, which is just north here of Titusville, about 10 miles. I am sitting in the museum Monday thinking, I might want to go out and see we're watching the launch here, several of us, and I'm thinking I need to go out. Maybe it's visible from Florida here. And I'm thinking, no, I wouldn't go over a populated area, and it's going to be too far south. And but it wasn't. And I got an email, a text here I'm going to show you from, let me put that up here. from Mike Leinbach. There, I'm going to zoom in on this. That gives you an idea. There it is going across the sky, folks. Just 10 miles up the road here. Starship number 11. All right. And that was emailed to me by Mike Leinbach, launch director. His neighbor had that. And just astounding, man. It was just really, really cool. Let me, Marty, actually, why don't you zoom in on that?
Okay.
I think that's worthy of a zoom in there. Because I couldn't believe that I was not watching it. There. Look at that. I've got the show right there, but you get the idea. Yeah. It was pretty interesting. And thank you. That's good. Little chevron in the sky, like many of you on the coast of the Carolinas see in Georgia, see the launches go up of SpaceX there. Thank you, Marty. No, it wasn't a UFO. It was a Starship from Brownsville, Texas, on its 11th flight. And the launch was at 7:23. So a small jellyfish effect appeared over the Space Coast skies about 10 minutes after launch. And it was a very big success for what they wanted to accomplish. This is a picture that local photographer Craig Bailey took with a telephoto lens. Some interesting reactions going on there with the whole propulsion system. And of course, it's in the darkness, so you don't see the ship to the left of the engine there. So that was way cool. I can't believe it. I missed it. A lot of you are saying, "How could you guys miss that?" Marty, you didn't think about to go out and see it, did you?
No, I did not.
And I just thought, nah, that ain't going to be that close to us, but it certainly was. So we'll be looking the next time. And it was pretty amazing to watch it plow into the ocean, though. Was another thing I thought was pretty cool. All right, let me bring us up over here on our podcast today. And what's everybody talk? Here we are. Let me get there. I'm trying to get the comments. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to go without the comments here. I'm challenged here for a moment. Description. Okay, let's get up to speed here as y'all had enough time to look at that picture. What are we looking at here? No, it's not the hex mirrors on the Hubble telescope. This is the hexagonal tiles, reentry tiles of the Starship that are being manufactured not in Texas, but here in Florida. Okay, and there we go. I got your comments back now. Steve Jokum says Frau and Moon is available on YouTube. It turns out that the bakery for the Starship tiles are in Florida here. Unlike the Falcon 9, they want to land the Starship both and the booster back on Starship back in launch towers. That'd bring down the cost of launches. Elon Musk bragged about doing a launch an hour at one time. Well, this rapid reusability plan for the Cape, SpaceX has to mass produce these heat shield tiles, and they have to be interchangeable and be able to be put on and off easily. They want to mass produce 1,000 Starship heat shields a day. And this top production was revealed not to be in Texas, but instead right here in Florida. Okay. They have a facility, couldn't figure out exactly by this article by Brooke Edwards in the Florida Today exactly where that is located. But I think it's going to be on Kennedy Space Center property where they're building a huge complex there. But they need to get those tiles in line. so that they can't wait around uh, for the tiles to be repaired, like in the shuttle. You know, uh, Tyler Lionquist, who's the Starship business analyst, says we can't launch, land, refuel, and launch again if we have to spend months refurbishing the heat shield after every launch, like they did in the space shuttle program. Okay. And this is a business analyst driving the Starship agenda. Wow. It is going to be all about the bottom line of making money once Musk can perfect this and put 100 tons at a time in space. Here's a picture of one of those tiles that washed up on one of those beautiful beaches in the Caribbean from the three or four of them that crashed into the ocean there. And there's an idea of the upper part of the heat tile system there with the fins. And again, we've had our buddy Terry White on the show. We'll show him this very pictures and see what he thinks about these tiles and what he knows about it. We plan to have Terry on next week on Stay Curious. Uh, so the heat tile, the Starship flew over Florida. Didn't really fly over Florida, but did in our skies. It was still south of Miami down there, and the heat tiles are made here in Florida. And though there is a little bit of grumbling, Marty, about it being launched here, I don't see any big red flags. You read the local news probably more closely than I do. Have you seen anything to alarm you that they would not launch it in the near future, being probably within the next 5 years?
No, I've read nothing like that.
Yeah. It's going to be big. And I think I saw a meme of two, like a 747 and another 727 or something stacked on each other as the height of this thing. And this, they want it to get bigger. Okay. There's my daughter, Jessie. Hi there, Jessie Marquette. Hope McKinley and Macy like Grandpa's vest here. Yep. Jean Wright made vest, by the way. Marty, you're waving that alert sign to me.
Yeah, we have a comment from Jack Kennedy. The SpaceX bakery is actually in Cocoa on Sitco Road.
Okay. All right. They had a facility there that they were building starships, I believe, back in there. Thanks, Jack Kennedy. Yep, and Carlton's saying they used to make the tiles over here. So we love that. Michael Bruno's there. Yeah, hovering at zero velocity for entering the ocean. I like that too, Michael. That was like, wow. That first stage is just hovering there. Such control. I mean, this was pioneered in the 60s in our Cape Canaveral gallery. These vernier thrusters that are keeping that thing erect and the gyros and so forth. Go ahead, Marty.
Yeah, RJ Jubilee is asking, why does the Starship vehicles explode when they come back and hit the ocean?
Well, maybe someone else can answer that a little better than me, and possibly. But just because there's water there doesn't mean that the fire ain't going to happen when these chemicals, gases, and stuff mix together. All right. They'll be extinguished later when they get in there. And did it actually float on the top for a while? I saw a picture that I didn't know to believe it or not, that it was actually floating.
I don't think it floated. To me, it looked like it was just slowly sinking tail first. But also you have the heat from re-entry from the engine burning going into the cold water.
Okay. Yeah. The heat hitting the cold, that's going to bust things apart. Quite complex. Thank you for watching, Rosalie. But I'm glad that you're all paying attention today. Got Jack Kennedy watching us. We appreciate that. Let's see here. Next, and there was Dougie. He says, Doug Forrest says you've got the record for the number of signatures. Okay. And Cliff's saying there's a huge Borealis Australis is happening down in Tasmania. That's where the sunspots that we showed you earlier, when they came around the sun spewed their stuff out. It's now hitting us in the beautiful aurora down there. By the way, those sunspots take 12 days to go across the face of the sun. The sun's rotation is 33 days, and we don't see them for almost 2 days on the sides. Go ahead, Marty.
Yeah, Michael Bruno has a good point also. Rockets don't mix well with water, and for national security reasons, no recovery. Good point.
Okay. Uh, yeah, yeah. There you go. Good point. Yeah, people want to keep their secrets. All right. Well, I got a nice little letter from Steve Jokums. Okay, there's his Lake County spaceport there. I thought it was Shuttlefest stuff, and we had lunch, and I made a big deal to open it in front of everybody. And he sent me something personal, a nice little pin here, and a joke for today. All right, so we're going to end the day with a little joke, but we do have Marty's question of the day, which, to remind you, what was the first contract awarded in the Apollo program, and who was it awarded to? Marty, you're going to say something. We're not going to reveal that yet. Okay, we're not going to reveal that yet, but I've got a joke for you all about, and we've got an astronomer, Eric Perlman, talking at our astronomy club tonight in Melbourne at 7 o'clock. You're welcome to come and see us at the Italian American Club. But astronomers like competing like everybody, who's got the first and the best and the biggest and so forth like that, whether it be sports or theater or movies like Fra on the Moon, that sort of thing. And we all know about the Webb telescope, but let me put my glasses on so I can deliver this properly. 3 astronomers go into a local bar. Okay, Steve Joke, I'm setting us up already with the 3 people go into a bar, okay? And they sit down and immediately start to argue about which observatory has contributed the most to astrophysics and cosmology. All right. The first astronomer at the bar, after having probably something fancy like a tequila sunrise, let's say, okay. The first astronomer says, why, Mount Wilson, as I'm showing you the Webb telescope there. The first astronomer says, well, Mount Wilson, of course, because that's where the great Edwin Hubble did his work on the expansion of the universe. And Mount Wilson's just beautiful in the mountains of California, east of Los Angeles, okay? Well, then the second astronomer, after drinking a Bloody Mary, says, sorry, it must be Mount Palomar, the 200-inch telescope, as more doctoral papers have been written through work there than anywhere else in the world. And there's a little time lapse of stars over Mount Palomar, which was the 200-inch hail, was one of the biggest in the world. And after a martini, shaken, not stirred probably, the third astronomer says, sorry to disagree, but I think it ought to be the extremely large telescope in Chile. No other telescope of its type has ever been built before. And they just started arguing back and forth as they had another round of drinks, and the disagreement continued until they all looked at their watches and said, it's late, we need to go home. All right. And as they get out the door to leave, the bartender yells to the astronomer, the last one there says, hey, wait, you forgot your keys. And flabbergasted that they all had forgotten about the Yerkes Observatory, he ran out of the bar to go tell his friends, and they were never heard from in that bar again. So the Yerkes Observatory, you forgot your keys. And Steve, God bless you. Thank you for my Yerkes keychain. Okay, right there, brother. And appreciate it a bunch. Goes right on my keychain immediately. That's very cool. Made with a 3D printer. Special Kickstart open house that he participated in at Yerkes Observatory. So I can be bribed with gifts, all right, bags of money, okay, and space memorabilia, all right. So Marty, thank you for enduring that joke. Ta-da.
I'm still laughing.
You're still. I'll explain it to you afterwards. Okay. Uh, all right, Marty's space trivia question of the day. Did anybody bite on it, buddy?
We had a couple. We had Steve Holcomb and Mitch Rothman. And how do I word this? Let me look it up.
Oh, I see Mitch Rothman there.
Yeah, they're both right. Steve is using more of the a technical term for the contract, which is inertial guidance and navigation. Mitch was more accurate with the actual name of the contract, which was the Apollo Guidance System. They both missed the date. The date was, it did get awarded to MIT Instrumentation Lab.
And the Desky.
Yeah. And the date was
Disky. That's how you want me to say it. Disky.
Yeah. And the date was August 9th, 1961.
All right. And of course, Yokums would know about it because he made this model of a Desky and donated it to the American Space Museum. And I still need to add a few more things to that display there, and will when I get a pair of minutes. Yes, Marty.
Disky. You just said Desky again. Disky.
Disky.
Disc. Disc like a disc.
A disc, yeah, disky.
Yeah.
Not disky or desk like a desk, but
Right.
disc.
Disky.
Disky. You want to know more about this incredible 64K computer. That's right, 64 kilobytes is what the K stands for, you millennials out there. Read the book. Huh?
Yeah, it actually had 2000K or 2000 K RAM and 32K ROM.
Okay.
Yeah.
64K.
No, 32K of ROM.
Okay, all right.
2K,
Random access memory is 32K.
And 2K RAM.
And
Random
2K
access.
RAM.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's half of what I've
Yeah.
read about. You want to read about it? Sunburst and Luminary, an Apollo memoir by Don Eilis is really an interesting read. I've read it. It's about the MIT guys that came down from New York to Kennedy Space Center and taught the flight crew training engineers like Bob Pearson how to train the astronauts with this computer language. So very interesting. So, all right. Don't forget to check out our auction tonight before you go to bed and see what you'd like brought to you. We are going to do a December auction of about 200 items, Chuck said, for a special Christmas thing. So thank you, RG Jubilee, for watching. Steve Jokums, he's going to own this museum, it sounds like. He's so involved in it. And a lot of you are involved in it like that behind the scenes, particularly at our events like our auction there. Dave Stangy, thank you. Tom Usiak, enjoyed talking to you last night. Let me make me big up there. Doug Forrest, Dean Babcock. Again, Doug Forrest with 2 R's. To find some of his fabulous artwork, it's apollo/arts.com, I think, is his website. Cliff Watson, Gary Gerald, Carlton Bailey, Tom Celentano, Mitch Rothman, my daughter Jessie Q's watching with the grandchildren there. Bop and Scoots, okay. Jack Kennedy, thank you, Jack, for joining our party today. And Michael Bruno down there in Miami. His football team, like my Cleveland Browns, suck. And they're going to play each other this week, Marty. Says that'll be ugly. Anyway, so, well, tomorrow I'm going to have some fun with astronomy tonight. Keep in mind that the moon is in the morning sky, so that means your evening skies are nice and dark. And we're going to always keep you aware of the fact that you go out there and get some starshine, somebody's waving back at you. I guarantee it. So until tomorrow, when Marty and I come and do it all again, hope you can visit our museum, because I'm Mark Marquette, and I'd like to bridge the space between us. Thank you so much.